Nobody would cut their own head off.
Well, speaking of head,
Hi, Pop Kids. It's October, which means it's time for another special bonus movie cast with DJ CK1 and the Notorious J.A.M. Tonight, we're reviewing two more horror classics, Ghoulies II and HauntedWeen. Ghoulies Go To College kept creeping into the conversation, so we'll talk about that one too. And don't despair, because our 80 of the 80s song countdown will resume next month. But first, you need to prove your elusive membership with the 80 of the 80s secret handshake. Ha ha! For those of you who did not attempt to shake my hand, access granted.
I'm here with the Notorious J.A.M. We're going to discuss the fine film of Ghoulies II. Obviously, 2 is superior to the first.
Yeah, 2, you can tell the puppets are a little better quality, a little more finished.
How many puppets were there?
Well, there were 5 ghoulies and the mega ghoulie at the end. So there was the fish ghoulie, the rat ghoulie, the cat ghoulie, the toad, and what was the flying one? Was that a bat?
It looked like a bat, so it's kind of hard to tell what animals they were patterned after.
Yeah.
What's that? It's a rat, stupid.
There was a scene when they were referred to as rats.
I always liked how the fish ghoulie would make those like baby noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the most popular one because he was on the cover of the first movie. Also, they made a giant version of him for the end.
Gigantus, demonium, exorito, commodesto, demonium, minute.
Okay, we're going to go to spoilers already, right? The giant fish ghoulie emerges.
Yeah, I love the near the beginning of the movie where the priest is running through the woods with the sack. There's those 3 Klansmen-looking occultists chasing after him.
Yeah, they don't really go into that. I mean, does that have anything to do with the first movie? Because I know there was some occult stuff, but I don't remember those, the red hooded.
I don't recall, but that part cracks me up because when you watch the movie, the ghoulies don't really do anything important. They just cause trouble. And I just love the idea that these occultists are like, come back with our ghoulies. We need you.
Ghoulies Go To College, which I watched this morning. I know I'm hopping about a little bit, which was the 3rd in the series. They had the ghoulies being summoned out of a toilet.
Nice.
In this one, they emerged out of a vat of solvent.
Yeah, the priest, that's another funny part when he busts into the shop. It's like, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
It's like, Lord guided him to this huge drum of solvent, and then it didn't work.
The only way to kill a ghoulie, apparently, is to summon a larger ghoulie to eat him.
Or to feed them a Molotov cocktail.
Give me some kerosene.
What are you doing?
Molotov cocktail. What?
Larry details that whenever he devises that solution.
You've already tried fire.
Right, they're tough on the outside, but maybe they're soft on the inside.
I was trying to figure out the mythos of the ghoulies. Granted, I haven't seen the 4th one, though, but the 4th one, they're just like little people in costumes. And then the 3rd one, they talk. But I think they had to lean a little bit more into the toilet aspect of the ghoulies because the promotional poster for the first one was so popular, and there were complaints that there was no ghoulie in the toilet scene. So they had to add where the villain, Philip Harden, I don't know if he died, but he was at least severely injured.
Prevalent fear, I would say, is things getting you while you're on the toilet.
That's always when you have to look before sitting. Which most people do, just make sure it's been flushed, right? You make sure that. I guess Philip, he had other things on his mind at the time.
Pretty agitated, wasn't really thinking that far ahead. Have you seen the promo poster for Ghoulies II? It's got the fish ghoulie coming out of the toilet, and the tagline is, "It'll scare the number 2 out of you."
Oh no, I haven't seen that one. No.
Also, I think another one says they'll get you in the end.
Yeah,
They get a lot of mileage out of that trope.
I like the setting, the carnival setting.
Again, that's why I opted for Ghoulies II and HauntedWeen. They both sort of display the mythology of the fun house and how sort of a lawless realm at times. Who knows what goes on in there?
You typically, with these carnival rides, especially ones that are traveling carnivals, there is spaces out of premium. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of space in the semi-truck. I mean, rooms and rooms worth for crowds of people to come. It is a very unusual haunted house.
Yeah, very spacious.
Enough to have a torture chamber party.
Torture chamber!
Let's party!
When they're like a mummy's tomb.
Right.
Rock and roll.
For those punks to go in and they were, have to listen to their tunes.
I don't go anywhere without my tunes. Tunes.
What's going on? They broke my tunes!
That kind of reminded me of the Karate Kid when Johnny destroyed Elizabeth Shue's jam box. Those things weren't cheap back then. It is like a crime against humanity. It's a great sin to destroy someone's tunes, because tunes can bring you so much pleasure and make you the hip person in the group.
Seems to be the problem, officer. These kids say their friend went into the Satan's den and never came out.
And we were attacked by some big-ass mother bat.
Yeah, and our friends get caught up in this gooey, sticky shit.
And my tunes are still in there.
I can kind of empathize with that guy.
Oh, absolutely. Tragic when he was picking up pieces.
Hey, man, bring my tunes. God damn it.
I have to say my favorite part, perhaps, in the whole movie is when the two, younger kids are going through and the one's just, talking shit about the whole thing. And then they see the rat ghoulie and it, pukes on him.
Oh, man!
Without any sort of hesitation. You're dead rat meat.
Dead rat meat.
Without any hesitation, he whips out a ninja star and immediately throws it at it. Captain Putin eats it.
Did you see that? This place is better than Epcot Center.
Yeah, because that's all 10-year-old kids have, right? Throwing star. And yeah, I guess the ghoulies can bite through metal. But then when he went and told the crowd outside about it, and about the goo, and then one guy said, "I love that stuff."
And then it spit this goo all over me.
Rats, no kidding. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it puked all over me. All right, let's go.
Well, let's go and get some more tickets. Yeah, come on. Let's go. Yeah.
But it's just, I guess, how quickly those kids were able to sell that crowd on this haunted house. And then they go in and they're chanting for the rats. And the rats are intelligent enough to do high fives, and everyone's like, yeah, this is awesome. They turned the whole carnival around, right? A group of 25 people was enough to make the haunted attraction the big hit.
Yep, record sales.
Yep.
Had the receipts. You can't get a receipt for that shit.
But Carnival, it runs on magic.
Carnival runs on magic.
Uncle Ned, he took the ghoulies being there as a sign that his magic was working. The message was, no, your magic didn't work. They were just there because they escaped from that vat of solvent. Yeah. But yet, he was able to make one appear in his hat, so he did have some magic.
Well, he had that grimoire. That was another curious part of the movie. You know, when they're summoning the big ghoulie to eat the other ghoulies, and pentagram on the ground, and you know, there's a hole to hell that opens up. Then afterwards, the big ghoulie gets exploded, and the mist goes back into the hole, but the hole's still there. So there's just like a hole to hell sitting out in that field. Very casual about dabbling with the satanic rituals.
And the carnival was strange too. You had the girly show.
Yeah.
They were just doing like a snake dance. I don't really know much of what was the appeal of that girly show.
I think it was a vehicle for Dixie's character. You know, Dixie, she's on the radio in the beginning.
This is Light in Town, Satan's Daddy. Dixie on the horn. Want me to tell you all a bedtime story? Over.
She's throughout the movie just saying really slutty things. Like the very end when Nicole and Larry are leaving, Nicole's like, Dixie, why don't you come with us?
Hey, I can't do nothing else but sling these old bones around. I might as well stay here.
Like washed up old stripper, but
she wasn't that old.
I know, she's like the same age as Nicole, but
right, yeah.
Oh, I'm all used up.
The slightly attractive Nicole.
Sufficiently attractive.
But it was still good to see that if you run to the freak show / snake show, girly show, whatever it is, all you have to say is just,
There's trouble at the den. Better get over there.
There's trouble at the den.
There's trouble in the den. Get your piece. Dixie, run the show till I get back.
Well, everyone in the carnival, you know, the carnies, they have that code. They stick together.
Breaking out guns and remember Freaks? Did you ever see Freak?
No, I'm aware of it though. Yeah, one of us.
You mess with one, you mess with them all.
And Nigel was a good character.
Phil Bonicaro, he was an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. He actually played the troll in Troll.
Oh, I didn't know he played the troll.
There's the troll.
I do distinctly remember him, not as the troll, but as a character.
The weird little person with the infatuation with the daughter.
Because of his height, he was turned into a troll at the end of Troll. And in this movie, because of Sir Nigel Pennyweight, was mistaken as a ghoulie.
Hold on, old boy. I'm just bone and gristle.
I'm looking at his credit on Troll, and he plays Malcolm Mallory, which is the guy, but he also plays Turok the Troll. He was also in another movie we reviewed. He played Greaser Greg in Garbage Pail Kids.
Wow, he's like everywhere. Versatile.
Yeah, rivaling Warwick Davis.
And the Shakespeare quotes, I don't know enough about Shakespeare, you know. I didn't know if those were on or spot on or not, but it was a neat character quirk.
And on that note, I really liked his last line in the movie. You know, Nicole and Larry are driving off, and he starts waxing poetic with that Shakespeare stuff.
Parting is such sweet sorrow that oh, the hell with it. Good luck, you two.
In the end, he gets to drop the act, which I found refreshing, because the whole movie, I always thought, you know, that's got to get old. And speaking in that lofty Shakespearean tone all the time. He had a moment of growth where he could down that facade just a little bit.
It wasn't too gory, not too much nudities. I wouldn't say it's a wholesome fun for the whole family. One guy was cut by the blade, which is kind of like if you're going to have a fake carnival attraction, why does the blade have to be that sharp?
Good point.
And then they also had the guy, he was on, it wasn't quite the Scrambler, but it was a ride like the Scrambler. The car from the ride just flew off and it just exploded.
Yeah,
it just had the biggest explosion.
Yeah, great.
Combustible.
It's a gas-powered tilt-a-whirl. Each car has its own engine system. Yeah, fun for the whole family. Ghoulies II That was another one I remember from back in the day, going to the video store. My brother and I would marvel at the box, and it was forbidden. My mom would never let us get that.
But because ghoulies are puppets, you were intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a slimy fish baby? Like a little miniature creature from the Black Lagoon.
And to our listeners, I mean, it's not the best movie to discuss in an audio format just because it is so visual. Because in Ghoulies Go to College, which was the third film, they speak. They're making a bunch of wisecracks, almost like Garbage Pail Kid, constantly mumbling things, trying to make little jokes. It goes past the uncanny valley. You know, if a anthropomorphic creature doesn't talk, we empathize it with it a little more like a pet. But when they start talking like a person, it's just really off-putting.
It's an interesting point.
I think the only funny line from Ghoulies Go to College is one of them said, there were multiple toilet scenes because they really had to play into the whole toilet thing. And the fish guy said,
Big boy. You forgot to flush.
Maybe that's the whole thing. You know, they're learning to speak. And I guess the next step is to go to college, get a job. I did like the stop motion animation in Ghoulies 2. Remember when the ghoulies are like out in the open fairgrounds and there's scenes of them walking around and stuff? That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, how did they get into the haunted house?
They stowed away whenever, remember the truck was overheating.
Coincidentally, there's one of the ghoulies on the side of the spray painted on the bad airbrush art. Yeah.
In fact, it goes further than that. If you look at the burlesque show or whatever, there's like a painting of the fish ghoulie on a panel behind her.
Ghoulies have enough intelligence to say, hey, that's us, let's go inside. But then they can't get out of the haunted attraction until someone shoots a hole into the wall.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then suddenly it's like, hey, now we have the whole carnival at our disposal. Let's go.
But yeah, it's a strange little segue for sure. In the case of Ghoulies II, you know, they're casually summoning demons, dabbling in the occult, and basically witnessing the reality of diabolical forces in the universe. But they just sort of shrug it off afterwards. Like, I swear, like if I encountered actual demons, it would change my paradigm. It would change my view of life. But they just sort of shrug it off and drive away into the sunset.
Oh, I hate to keep bringing up Ghoulies Go to College, but
go ahead.
At that one, so the villain, can't remember the actor's name, but he also plays the villain in UHF. Great, despicable villain that you hate. But the main characters, they don't know that the Ghoulies exist until like the final scene. So they not only do they fight the Ghoulies, the professor turns into this giant monster. I think is a Ninja Turtles influence. He has a Krang head in his stomach that talks simultaneously while he's talking.
You cannot escape the force you created. Submit to the power I have become.
Yeah, and then just lots of slime and goop everywhere and all this stuff. Supernatural vortex, and then flush in the toilet and flames shooting out and then 10 seconds later, it's like,
Poor Wes.
Veronica.
Oh, gee, it's too bad about our friends who died. Oh, well.
At least they're together.
Poor Wes.
And then, like, 10 seconds after that, it's...
Let's party!
Yeah, the frat guys come back in, and then they just crack open beers, and then just instantly go back to party mode. It's really hard, the balance of comedy and horror. There's nothing more depressing sometimes than a bad comedy film. Ghoulies Go to College, that was a downer. Unintentional downer, yeah.
I'm glad to know it exists.
Yeah.
Years ago, I had the idea of sending the Gremlins to middle school. I wanted a movie called Gremlin Middle School. where gremlins face the trials and challenges of being young teenagers. The Ghoulies Go to College. That sounds like a winner.
Well, it's pretty much all about pranking. The whole setup is kind of absurdly hilarious. I mean, they're doing like a frat movie, like Revenge of the Nerds, or just Porky's take place at college, you know, Animal House, titty flick kind of thing. This pranking competition that's going on between the different fraternities, and a professor. Actually, he's a dean, the stodgy old dean, you know. He hates the prank so much that he dabbles in the occult. All this evil power is, you know, that he can rule the world. But the number one thing he wants to do is put a stop to prank week once and for all.
Bro, I love the poster for Ghoulies 3. They're in their like graduation gear, and they still have the toilet. That's excellent.
But there's no graduation scene. So again, they should have, you know, they needed to be that payoff.
Maybe they were a few credits short.
And so there's a little bit of the humans they think the mischief that the ghoulies are causing that are all pranks by the other fraternity. Who drank all of our beer? Oh, must have been those.
You know who did this? I'll bet I know. I'll bet it was the Gammas. Yup, it's just like those creeps.
I mean, there's really not any likable characters in it. Like the main protagonist guy, he's a douche. I guess he's going for the Ferris Bueller. What's the National Lampoon's Van Wilder? What's that?
I don't know.
One of those like, I'm a smart aleck guy. You can give it a spin. It's on Tubi like everything else. So is Ghoulies 4, but like I said, there's not even puppets in Ghoulies 4, so their budget was too low.
Come on in.
I mean, since this is a music podcast, we should talk about the theme song to Ghoulies 2, Scream Until You Like It, by WASP. So it's your typical glam metal.
It's fitting.
Blackie Lawless kind of looks like a ghoulie himself.
Never gonna stop. Scream until you like it. I'm sending out our little boys to play. You know, a trick like that could really make my day. Ha ha ha.
So his little boys are the ghoulies, right?
Oh, so. Scream until you like it.
80 of the 80s bonus movie cast will be back after these messages. I think I'm done.
Rayovac is providing free personal kid-sized flashlights for use when trick-or-treating Halloween night. These flashlights will light the way to safer rounds of the neighborhoods. To get your flashlight, just come to any Madison Burger King on October 30th and ask for one. No purchase is necessary, and Burger King will give you a special treat bag and a coupon good for the soft drink of your choice. But the supply is limited, so get to Burger King early. And remember, be safe this Halloween. Wear light-colored costumes, be extra careful crossing streets, and ask your parents to check your treats and throw out any unwrapped ones just to be safe.
Tuesday, new and astounding scientific discoveries on the award-winning series, The Body Human, The Bionic Breakthrough. Then, a woman discovers that her husband has 5 different personalities. Dee Wallace and David Burney star in The 5 of Me. It all happens Tuesday.
This Halloween, be the most popular house on the block. While the other neighbors are passing out boring old chocolate bars, dull candies, and bland treats, why don't you give the kids what they really want? The exciting and smooth taste of Newport menthol cigarettes, the most refreshing smoke of all. Newport menthol cigarettes, alive with pleasure.
We've taken a break so you could catch up and for the full context to get the complete understanding of the Ghoulies universe, I recommended that you do watch Ghoulies Go to College.
I certainly did.
As a service to our listeners.
And again, Ghoulies Go to College was actually filmed in 1989, so I think it's technically an 80s movie. It's kind of amazing that the one that appears to have the most budget and known actors and TNA happens to be like the worst of the first three. But it was entertaining for sure.
Was it funny?
In the stupidest kind of way, yeah. Like the incessant Three Stooges gag was just over the top. You know, we had to make a drinking game out of head bonking every time they bonk heads to take a shot.
Boys, knock it off!
Their dialogue did remind me of the Garbage Pail Kids. Kind of how they prattled about with wisecracks, hoping that maybe the occasional one would land.
Honey, I'm home!
And the dean did control them with magic, attempted to. Very similar to Garbage Pail Kids, or at least that was his goal. I noticed the Ghoulies were bigger this time. They were about twice the size. The fish ghoulie had lost his baby cooing sound in exchange for a more Mo kind of character.
Turn around, you moron!
Also noticed that the fish ghoulie looked a lot like Bill Burr. Almost identical.
Not quite as pale.
During the panty raid.
During that panty raid, the girls all came in with the feather pillows and they were topless, knocking them out with their feather pillows. They were incapacitated. At that point, I just thought that this movie's like a parody, right? It's a farce. I mean, it was just like so cliche. It was just, were they trying too hard or were they just
I don't know. I was going to say the whole thing was kind of crummy. So I'm like, why not? It was funny. I especially like how all the panties were in a big laundry basket. The girls' one job to guard the panties, and they still got taken. Yeah, it's too bad they didn't show the Ghoulies in cap and gown. They look real sharp.
Right. It feels for today, they like, these beings from their underworld, they meet our diversity quotas.
Exactly.
We'll give them a pass, and then at the end they graduate. Everyone's cheering like, yeah! They needed that payoff scene at the end.
Yeah.
If I could do it, you could do it too. Or I don't know. I was a ghoulie, literally from the sewers. A despised being who could barely speak, and now look at me.
He's got his BA in sociology. Yeah, what would the Ghoulies major in?
I don't know. Sanitation.
So I'm totally watching Ghoulies 4 tonight.
Welcome to the House of Horror.
Speaking of college, you want to move on to our next featured film? So we're going to talk about HauntedWeen.
In a haunted house on a haunted ween. It's the biggest party you've ever seen.
Now, so Ghoulies 2 came out in 1987, so I wanted it to be a rule in our format, since this is 80 of the 80s podcast.
Yeah.
We only talk about 80s movies, but you were very adamant on HauntedWeen, which was...
I know. I was thinking about that today. I'm like,
The setting similarities, again, it's a very peculiar...
Wait a second. Hold up.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold the phone. HauntedWeen was actually filmed in August of 1989. So it is technically an 80s movie.
Okay, we can proceed then.
How do you like the theme song?
That sucked too. Distinctive guitar riff.
Haunted night on a haunted ween.
In a haunted house on a haunted ween.
Like I mentioned before, I'd actually first seen this on YouTube, and it was like the shittiest quality recording but watching it again, it was like crystal clear. And at the end, there was the Vinegar Syndrome logo. And come to find out, yeah, Vinegar Syndrome picked it up and released it in a box set of that production company, which is awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially because a friend of mine, like, I've always pitched HauntedWeen. I always wanted to do it as part of the Cult Movies in the Cave series when I was at VisArt, and this friend of mine refused to agree to it. But he himself is like a huge fan of Vinegar Syndrome releases. And when I found that, I immediately sent it to him. I could tell it burned him up just a little bit. His precious Vinegar Syndrome is endorsing a movie he refuses to watch. The setting, again, I think both movies sort of illustrate the sort of mythology of the spook house, the fun house. Oftentimes you get in there and shit goes down for real and you don't know the difference.
And both times, I guess there is some socio-cultural commentary on the bloodthirstiness of the mob.
Hang him! Let him hang!
The chanting fathers and children just
reflection of the dark side of humanity.
Stop him! Stop him! He's killing us! This is real! God! You bastard! You prick!
In both movies, the fun house, it's some sort of moneymaker. But in both movies, the success of the party depends on the profitability of the fun house. The actual violent elements are what increase the profits. The real gore draws the real money.
I don't know if in HauntedWeen the students from this fraternity from Top Hill State College, I don't know if they would have, they needed to make $3,000 and it was like $3 a person, so you would have to bring in 1,000 people in this one night.
Actually, it was $3,700, even more.
You can kind of excuse the audience for thinking that the kill room was fake.
Man, it looks so real.
Because there were rooms before that were fake.
Mm-hmm.
But those were so obviously fake. I mean, you had like the mannequin legs. I think if I was in that situation, maybe you only would need a couple people to say, maybe they're being truthful when they're saying,
God, would you help us? This isn't part of their house. This guy is a killer. This is for real.
Then another part of me thinks the scene where the guy, his head was decapitated by a baseball bat. Just one swing from the baseball bat, his whole head came off. That was so fake looking, so maybe the audience can be excused for thinking it was fake.
Man, she's a good actress. She can really act. She is good. It looks so real.
Yeah, that scene struck me funny because the killer has the baseball and he apparently stuffs it in his mouth, and then like the next cut there's just like a little bit of the baseball sticking out. Guy must have a huge mouth, fit a whole baseball in his mouth like that. Did you notice the Pee Wee Herman impersonator in the movie?
I did think he was like Pee Wee Herman. I didn't know if he was intentionally being like him.
2 scenes in the movie. He was in the beginning.
I was a food inspector, and he gave me all this food. Great, huh?
And then he's on top of the van towards the end.
Ah! Wow, I found this cool mask in the house.
I mean, he looked just like him. Tell he really worked on that impersonation.
Well, okay, but you owe me a good story later.
Right, so this was shot in and around Western Kentucky University, which is in Bowling Green. Miss AK-47 and I, a few times we went up to Cave City, where Mammoth Cave is, which is close to that. I do like that area a lot. I don't know if they got, maybe it was their theater club or something, or I don't know, because there was such terrible acting.
I know, Hanks was killing it.
Oh, man, I hated Hanks.
Hanks, you're in charge.
What? I innocent and fair.
I burned up all my brain cells thinking up the idea. Now I got to do all the manual labor. Is anybody going to help me with this? This is bullshit.
You've seen Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah.
It was totally channeling Slim Pickens from Dr. Strangelove.
What a coinky-dink.
Okay, it's been a while since I saw Dr. Strangelove, but I did want Hanks to die of everyone.
Are you getting smart with me, frat boy?
Oh, no, sir. I'm not a smart person.
In a way, he did save the day, though, just by first pointing out when he came up and said, "This isn't part of the house."
This isn't part of the house.
Oh my God, he's really killing us!
That instantly turned the crowd from being enraptured by the gore to like panic and just running like their heads were cut off.
You know, Hanks pulls a lot of weight around there.
And then he also used his homemade flamethrower to...
God, Hanks, you okay?
I got him. I cooked him like one of Mama's home-cooked biscuits. Son of a bitch.
It's like one of Grandma's homemade biscuits. I think that was the whole point of the crawl space. Even though crawl space in horror movies is a great little motif. You know, Alien does it. Lots of movies. Crawl space, Die Hard, Chopping Mall, there's the crawl space scene. But I think they only included the crawl space just so he could like flamethrow down it. You know, there's a neat shot with the flames going through it.
So, I mean, Hanks did redeem himself, but I mean, there was like halfway through, I was about to give up. I mean, with the movie, I like when they were all sitting around the campfire and singing.
That she loves me when I know it's not true. Maybe my leaving would be the thing to do.
I was like, I hate these people so much.
But my rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty.
Because I have such a low tolerance for like terrible music.
Remember the two kids who eventually go down to the lake to skinny dip? Great line is...
Nobody would cut their own head off.
Well, speaking of head...
Just speaking of bad music... The first party scene, the background music they were listening to is like the worst.
I know.
If you want to kill a party, you just play that stuff.
Yeah, I like how there's a shot where someone actually actively puts on a CD of that shitty music. It's like it's like music you'd find in like a Red Lobster commercial or something.
They wanted you to know they were having fun because he dumped a beer on a girl. That's how you signify that. It's a party. So.
Oh, God, it's so cold.
It is?
Yes.
Damn, we never have cold beer.
It's funny how between the two movies, the attitudes towards drinking are totally different. Like in HauntedWeen, it's like they're funneling beers and there's the guy wasted on the porch and, you know, half the dialogue is just about getting drunk. Then in Ghoulies II, Uncle Ned is a depraved alcoholic.
Well, Ghoulies 3 is very pro-drinking, I'll just say that. So the Ghoulies, they drink, there was a giant refrigerator, just, I don't know, mounds and mounds of Miller Lite, which I don't know if that they endorsed the movie or something. Native advertising. I wonder if there's like a vortex in their stomach, then they were able to consume that much beer, but...
Probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, they did survive being submerged in a drum of solvent. So
Right.
the tolerance is pretty high.
Well, yeah, in Ghoulies 3, they drink Drano.
Yeah, try some. More beer.
They're like, hey, yeah, you like this Miller Lite beer.
Tastes great.
Tastes great, less filling. Here, have a Drano.
That's filling. Yum, yum.
We do need to talk about the grand finale of HauntedWeen.
Flaming van.
That just keeps moving.
Yeah.
I guess he keeps driving, even though he's Eddie. Again, it's obvious, blatant Halloween, the movie Halloween influence. When he wears a mask like Mike Myers, the music, such a knockoff. But yeah, no, Eddie, he just kind of like in Halloween, when Mike Myers was on fire, he just keeps going, just keeps driving.
It's a solid trope.
This car was set aflame by a shotgun.
Yep.
Made the whole thing explode. Our protagonist, I can't remember his name.
Hurt.
Such a quick runner that he was able to catch up, actually outrun the van.
Yeah, it was like the T-1000. Steady clip, caught up with him.
And it was able to head him off, hide in the bush, and then jump out at him, you know.
Speaking of which, Kurt is played by Brian Blakely, who is actually a local news anchor here in Charlotte.
Does he ever talk about Haunted?
Oh, he does.
Weed?
Yeah. It's funny. Years ago when I was at VisArt, the news station showed up at VisArt with a camera crew, and he actually watched his movie, and they interviewed him about his experience.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad he's a good sport about it, not deathly embarrassed. It really did when he was being electrocuted. You could tell the pain in his eyes. You could see it.
But he took it like a champ.
And not only does he have like superhuman speed, but our killer Eddie has superhuman strength. His first kill didn't even happen in the kill room. So I think the character development of Eddie, he was so traumatized by that girl who was accidentally killed in his haunted house that he wanted to recreate the experience many times over by arranging for this kill room.
His origin was pretty vague.
But then, for no reason, killed a couple people out in the woods, you know. He lifted the guy by his left hand alone. It was just with his fingers almost. If you remember, like he just kind of lifted the guy with his fingers, you know, off the ground.
Pinned him to the tree. That was a pretty gnarly kill scene. I like how the guy didn't make any noise at all. Like he just let it happen.
Yeah, a lot of his victims didn't really make much sound. I'm thinking about the girl, she was out peeing, and then he just lifted her up. I guess she bumped her head or something.
Yeah, he banged her head on a tree branch, which was an odd choice.
The other girl that he killed that was in the skinny dipping scene, he just kind of turned her head to the side. So I guess he broke her neck. But if you go through life like that, you could just accidentally kill anybody. I mean, you know, maybe that's what happened to his mom. He was like, hey, he gave his mom a hug and it was a little too much.
His origin story, it seems like they were trying to go for like a psycho kind of take on it. The first girl, it was kind of implicit that there was like romance between them. Remember, she's in the car and smiles at him. She gets killed and Mama takes him away into the woods and puts her in the van. Remember, he's like, Mama, we're going home. And if you recall, in the kill room, Mama's corpse is laying there.
Oh, no, I missed that.
Like it was very brief. It didn't really showcase it very well, but it just reminded me of Psycho. It kept the corpse.
No.
Oh, I do love the no. That was an epic no moment. Remember when he finds Mama on the porch?
No, Mama. Mama.
They really put a lot of work into that sound clip. Another scene from HauntedWeen I really like is when Kurt and Ben are in the den watching TV or whatever, and Kurt's like, you stay away from my girl.
You listen to me, you little bastard. She's confused and she just needs some room to think. So why don't you just back off?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I wasn't gonna do anything. But now I think I'll bone her.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about the grab.
The wall of hands.
The announcer has to tell him specifically.
Stop. Stand against the wall.
And so these pervy frat guys can fill you up.
We've all been there.
They still have fraternities. I don't know if they still do parties like that, and I'm also thinking again of Ghoulies Go to College. I think with hazing and stuff, there's probably the word something's going to go viral and just be a major campus scandal. And
got to be careful these days. Notice the Corvette in the beginning of the movie. Kurt's like leaving the driveway and scrapes the undercarriage. I was like, damn, whoever's car that is just got fucked. And then like later in the movie, the Corvette's gone and it's replaced with like a Chrysler LeBaron. It's like whoever lent the Corvette my car.
Well, Bowling Green, Kentucky has a Corvette museum.
Oh, do they?
So I don't know if there's any connection there.
They replaced it with best they could, same color and everything, but it goes from a Corvette.
Yeah.
I think it was that scrape that did it. Glad I remembered that at the buzzer. HauntedWeen, it's a winner. Vinegar Syndrome endorsed.
In a haunted house on a haunted ween.
Great title too, HauntedWeen.
I know, it's fucking terrible. Like, what is that?
Gonna raise some hell, gonna lose control. We're just dying to start the show. We're just dying to start the show.
We hope you enjoyed the 80 of the 80s Music Podcast. You can download more episodes and check out the show notes on our site, 80ofthe80s.com, or listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts. It better be ours. Reach out and touch faith with an email at 80ofthe80s@gmail.com. And we want to be your Facebook friend. Until the next song, this is AK-47 thanking you for your power play.
Kurt, man, I took care of everything. The big party's tonight. We're gonna make $1 million.